Beginning the invitation. The war between humans and the Zilirians had ended 3 cycles ago, but the silence it left behind was worse than the sound of battle. I'd been stationed on outpost Venera 9, one of the few remaining human bases orbiting a dying blue sun. Most of us stayed busy repairing comms towers or trading supplies with local alien settlers who'd survived the conflict. That's how I met her, Ceres of Lorinth, a Zilirian widow. She appeared during one of the rare peace exchanges between our species. Her movements were slow, deliberate, her form cloaked in pale silver fabric that shimmered like liquid under the weak sun. The Zilirians were humanoid but not quite. Their skin reflected light in shifting tones, their eyes too large, too knowing. I was assigned as the liaison officer to ensure the trade went smoothly. When she approached, I noticed she carried nothing but a small crystal sphere. She offered it to me in silence. "What's this?" I asked. "Memory," she said softly. "A memory of home." There was something in her voice, calm yet cracked with loss. I handed it back, not sure if I should touch it, but she pushed it gently toward my chest. "Keep it. Perhaps it will remember you too." For days afterward, that crystal sphere sat on my desk, glowing faintly whenever I entered my quarters. It pulsed as though alive, as though it sensed my presence. A week later, a communication request came through the old Zilirian frequency. Static, then her voice. "Human soldier, you have my memory. Will you bring it back to me?" Her coordinates led beyond the safe zone, deep into the mist valleys of the southern hemisphere, the ruins of Lorinth, her fallen city. Protocol said I shouldn't go. But something in her voice, that blend of sorrow and need, kept echoing in my head. Against my better judgment, I packed my rifle, the memory sphere, and a ration pack, and set out before dawn. Middle, the House of Echoes. The ruins of Lorinth were a graveyard of glass and stone. Towers curved upward like ribs of a dead giant, catching the light of the blue sun and scattering it in shards. There was silence, not the peaceful kind, but the heavy, suffocating silence that belongs to places once full of life. I found her near what looked like the remains of a garden, crystalline vines frozen in time, their petals reflecting faint light. "You came," she said, her tone unreadable. "You asked me to." I handed her the sphere. She took it carefully, almost reverently, and pressed it against her forehead. The sphere flared briefly, then dimmed. "It remembers," she whispered. When she turned, I saw her home, a small dome-shaped structure, half buried in the soil. "Come inside," she said. "You should not stay out here after dusk. The air shifts when the light fades." Inside, her home was nothing like I expected. It wasn't alien in the cold, metallic way. It was lived in. Crystals hummed softly in the walls, emitting warmth. The air smelled faintly of spices and something floral. "You live here alone?" I asked. "Yes. My mate was taken by your war." She poured a liquid into 2 cups. "And my child never woke from the storm that followed." The way she said it, calm, matter-of-fact, carried more weight than grief could express. I lowered my head. "I didn't fight in that campaign. But I'm sorry." She smiled faintly, though her eyes didn't. Humans apologize for what they did not do. Zilirians remember what they must forgive. I didn't know what to say. She gestured to the seat beside her. "You are far from your station. Why risk the journey?" I hesitated. "I don't know. Maybe because you asked." For the first time, her expression softened. "No human has ever come when I asked." We spoke for hours, about the stars, the silence, the strange fragility of peace. She told me Zilirians once shared dreams, literal ones, connecting their minds in the collective. But after the war, the link broke. Each survivor became truly alone for the first time in their history. When I finally stood to leave, the mist outside had thickened into a glowing fog. "Stay," she said. "The air will not forgive you tonight." Her voice left no room for argument. I stayed. She prepared a resting space near a radiant crystal. As I lay down, I noticed her watching me from across the room, her eyes luminous in the dimness. "Human," she said quietly. "Why do you look at me as if I am familiar?" I blinked. "I don't know. Maybe because you seem human too." Her head tilted. "Do I?" The way she asked made my chest tighten. Then she said something that froze me completely. "I saw you before you came. In my dreams. I thought they were fragments of the collective. But they were memories of you." I couldn't respond. The room pulsed softly around us, alive, listening. The secret, the memory sphere. The next morning, I woke to find her gone. The door to the outside world was ajar, and the mist had receded slightly. I stepped out, clutching my helmet. She was kneeling beside a shallow pool, the memory sphere hovering above the water. "It showed me something last night," I said quietly. "A city of light. And a song." She didn't turn. "That was Lorinth before your kind came." "No," I said. "I saw myself there. Among your people." She finally looked up, her expression unreadable. "Then it has chosen to show you what even I forgot." I knelt beside her. "What does that mean?" She touched the sphere again, and this time its light enveloped both of us. Suddenly I was standing inside a vision, the same city, alive and brilliant. Zilirians moved through the streets, their minds linked, their emotions flowing in harmony. And among them me. Or rather, someone who looked like me. A human in Zilirian armor, standing beside Ceres, holding her hand. The vision flickered, then shattered like glass. When I opened my eyes, I was on my knees. She was staring at me, not in confusion but recognition. "You were there," she whispered. "You were my bonded one. The war didn't take you, time did." I struggled to breathe. "That's impossible." She shook her head. "Our minds do not die as easily as our bodies. The collective preserved fragments, memories of those we loved. When your world rose, one of those fragments called to you. I didn't know if it was madness or destiny, but everything inside me screamed that she was telling the truth. I remembered flashes, dreams I'd had for years, of silver towers and her face illuminated by starlight. They weren't dreams. They were echoes, ending the choice. That night, the air around Lorinth began to pulse again, energy waves rising from beneath the ruins. "What's happening?" I shouted as the ground trembled. "The collective," she said. "It's awakening. Your presence reactivated what was lost." The crystal sphere now glowed brighter than ever. "If it awakens fully, will it restore them?" "Yes," she said. "But it will also erase what remains, me, this place, and you if you stay." The light grew hotter. I could barely see her face through the radiance. "Then let's go," shouted. She shook her head. "I cannot leave. I am part of the memory. I existed only because it held me." My throat tightened. "You're saying you're not real?" "I am as real as what you felt," she said, smiling softly. "But if the collective lives again, maybe another me will exist, one who knows peace."